So we will see the next part.
Yes,
Right to freedom of religion we have. So right to freedom of religion, this part we have as a part of like fundamental rights, part 3 of Constitution. Apart from this also we have some provision in preamble. Do you remember what is the relation between this preamble and this one? Do we get any mention of these articles in preamble?
So preamble and another one?
Preamble and these articles, is there any relation, like right to freedom of religion? Do our preamble mention anything relating to this?
Ma'am, preamble is the heading of that topic or something. Whatever in the book is there, that will be the title of that, ma'am. But right to freedom of religion is different, ma'am.
Preamble is like the summary. So in preamble we have few words, right? Like sovereign, socialist, like that. Is there any word which signifies this thing?
And in the synopsis it will come, ma'am. This right to equality, if anything will come.
That is like in preamble it is being mentioned that okay, these are the things that you can expect inside the constitution, and after that we have these detailed provisions. Like if you see in preamble it mentions India is a secular country, right? So how can we know India is a secular? Because it provides freedom of religion to the people. Okay, so this is the relation, that because we were already having this provision, that secular word was inserted in preamble as well. Okay.
Yes.
So we have these articles 25, 26, 27, 28, 4 articles, 4 different types of rights relating to religion. We are given freedom of religion. Hey, before we continue, I wanted to inform you about my live mentorship program for LLB students or law aspirants. Law subjects and law topics need detailed clarity. We get that with the help of cases, examples, and detailed explanation. It's definitely not possible to include everything in these short videos. If you find my videos easy to understand and you are looking for some professional help in preparing for your examination, you can join my live mentorship program. Here you will be getting exam tips, answer writing skills, detailed notes that you can refer for your examination, cases, examples, and in a very easy way topics will be explained. I have live classes going on for a lot of subjects as of now. To know more about it, you can drop me a message on this WhatsApp number. I'm also helping a lot of students in writing their assignments. If you need any such help or for any queries, any suggestions, you can drop me a message on this WhatsApp number. And now let's continue with our video. So first one that we have is freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religion. So it says all persons, again, this is not just for citizens of India, but even foreigners are being given this particular right. Okay, so all persons are given what? They are given equality. Okay, equally entitled. They are all equally entitled to freedom of conscience and right to freely profess, practice, propagate religion. So as such, there is no restriction. It's not like, okay, only Muslim people can practice, profess, propagate their religion, other religions cannot. There is no restriction as such, right? Everyone is free. That's why you would see all the different kind of religious gatherings and all would happen, right? During Eid, you would see Muslims gathering, during Puja, during other festivals, you would see Hindus gathering, during Christmas and all, you would see Christians gathering, right? So all are having this freedom, right? Everyone would celebrate their own festivals in their own ways, right? Gathering and all is allowed, prayers, however they want to celebrate, it is allowed. That means it itself indicates that all persons are equally free to practice, profess, propagate their religion. Okay. Now, while they are practicing their religion, now their religion is not like above welfare of people. Okay, so this right is not absolute. More than practicing religion, also there are some like priorities for the state, like public order, morality, health, and other provisions. Take for example, during COVID-19, we have seen there were so many restrictions on exercising this right. That only for the namesake you can organize the puja, but large gatherings would be prevented. You cannot distribute the prasadam and stuff. This is nothing but they want to ensure public health, on top of this, right? It should not happen just because we are allowed to practice religious things, it is affecting our health or something, right? That should not happen. So these things would be considered. It's not an absolute right, but yes, if it is not affecting public order, morality, health, etc., we will be having freedom to profess, practice, propagate any religion. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So this right is not absolute. There can be restrictions or limitations as well. Right? And also, when they say you have a freedom to practice, profess, propagate religion, as such, it's not mandatory that you should follow some religion, you should follow some religious practices. If you do not want, that is also well and good. You can completely keep yourself like isolated from this. Many times you would see there would be people who do not even use like a surname. Their name would be there, right? They don't use any surname, any title or anything because they don't want to show their religion, right? So these are again, these are also certain things which are allowed. But yes, if someone wants to practice, profess, propagate religion, they are given the freedom. Nothing in this article shall affect the operation of any existing law or prevent the state from making any law in order to regulating or restricting economic, financial, political, or other secular activities which may be associated with religious practices. State can also make some laws, regulations, etc., which are necessary. It may provide social welfare and reform or the throwing upon of Hindu religious institutions of a public character to the class of sections. So there will be different endowment boards, different temples, etc., which are given like public character as well. So these are again nothing but some steps which might be taken. Okay, so even though we have like these things, some laws may be passed. Take for example, for Sikh religion, you will see it's not mandatory for them to wear a helmet while they are riding, but for all other people it is mandatory. If you are not wearing a helmet, you will be fined, but they are allowed to follow their own religious practices because it is considered as an essential part of their religious practices. So even if you see Motor Vehicles Act, you will see it is an exception that they are not it's not mandatory for them to wear a helmet if they are wearing that thing, right? So these are again nothing but some laws which are made by the uh, legislature. Okay, so
Yes,
there
ma'am.
we had one case, okay, Muhammad Hanif Qureshi versus State of Bihar. Mainly in this case, what happened is there were some people who were, like involved in slaughtering of some cows, calves, etc. Okay, and they would be selling their meat. It was like their profession. And there were some state laws which were passed in states like Bihar, UP, Madhya Pradesh, etc., which prevented slaughtering of cows. So these group of people, they challenged that these legislations are violating our fundamental rights, right? That we slaughtering of cows is like part of our religious practices. They are not allowing us to do that. We were doing it like a profession. They are, like not allowing us to do that like that. They filed a case. But what court said in this case, it was before Supreme Court. Supreme Court said that slaughtering of cows is not an essential part of religious practices of Muslims. So these religions, these legislations, which are passed by these states, Bihar, UP, Madhya Pradesh, etc., these legislations are valid because it is not taking away your right to practice, profess, propagate religion. It is not essential part of your religious practices. Same kind of judgment recently also has come, right? For this hijab,
Yes, ma'am. They
Karnataka High Court.
said not. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
So
They
what
should.
did they say?
The case came against to the hijab. So they are again protesting, no, ma'am.
Hmm. Yes. So what
Some they
was the
kept in
judgment
high
about?
court or something like that.
What has the court said?
Uh,
So
exactly, I don't know, ma'am.
okay. Mainly
Means
the
they said,
yeah.
yeah,
Tell me what they said.
like
So it was mainly that
everyone
in
is out of the college itself. They should, yes, out
yeah,
of the school itself. They should remove their scarves, everything, and they should enter into the college.
hmm,
So They are saying that it is our religion, what came from before onwards, so we should follow it. The certain.
Yes.
But the court said they should remove everything before the college, out of the gate itself.
Hmm.
Entering into the college premises, they should remove their everything.
Correct. So main question was that
That's it.
whether in school they should be wearing it or not, because in school we have uniform. We don't want people to, like have those their identities or anything. We want everyone to be equal. So that was the main question. And while deciding it again, Karnataka High Court also came to the same point whether wearing hijab is an essential part of their religious practice or not. So they said it's not an essential part of their religious practice. So in uniform, because school authorities are like providing for school uniform, they should be wearing it. Everyone should be like same, irrespective of their religion or anything. Correct. So that is also same similar kind of a judgment with this one, right? That if it is not an essential part of your religious practices, then court can look into some other matters, like equality in a school. Why is uniform provided? Right. Same ways here also that we need to protect our animals and everything. Slaughtering is not very good, so it was prohibited. Okay, similarly, there is another case which is also known as National Anthem case. Okay, this is also a very famous case. Bijoy Emmanuel versus State of Kerala, also known as National Anthem case. What happened in this case, right? It is from Kerala. There were three children.
Yes.
Okay, there were three children who were expelled from the school because they refused to sing Jana Gana Mana during their assembly prayer. Okay, they refused to sing the prayer because they said that it goes against their religious faith. They should not sing these kind of anything. They should not sing. So they were just silently standing in the assembly prayer, and because they were not singing it, they were expelled from the school. Now, the father of these three children, he filed the case before Kerala High Court, and he said that it is going against our religious faith. That is why the children are not singing the national anthem, and they should not be expelled from the school. But this Kerala High Court said that in Jana Gana Mana, as such, it's not like a religious prayer or anything. So it is just like a secular song, right? It's not having anything which would violate any religious faith or anything. So Kerala High Court did not agree to it, right? It gave a decision against the father or the children. So the father went to Supreme Court, and in Supreme Court, he again put up the same matter, and Supreme Court said that it's fine. If singing Jana Gana Mana is going against their religious faith, that is completely fine. Because what they are doing during assembly prayers, they are simply standing there, right? Silently, they are standing there. They are not disturbing anyone else. If someone is willing to sing, they are singing. They are simply standing. They are not disrespecting the anthem also. Right? Simply, they are not singing because it goes against their religious faith. So there is no harm in it. Like it's okay if until and unless you are not like disrespecting anything. Okay, so Supreme Court said that these children should not be expelled, and it gave an order that you need to again like readmit the students and allow them to continue the way they are doing, because they are simply silently standing there without violating anything, without disrespecting the national anthem or anything, and there is no wrong in it. Okay, so this is also another case relating to freedom of religion, which also indicates that we are like free to like practice, profess, propagate any religion, and if we do not want that, there also we are free. Just that we should not be disrespecting or we should not be hurting anybody else's feelings or freedoms, etc. Okay, is that case clear?
Yes, ma'am.
That is Article 25, okay, which provides us the fundamental right to practice, profess, propagate any religion. Next we have is Article 26, which is on freedom to manage religious affairs. Okay, so it says, subject to public order, morality, and health, every religious denomination or any section thereof shall have a right to establish and maintain institutions, manage their own affairs, own and acquire movable and immovable property, and administer such property. Now, it is not enough that simply Constitution just mentions that, okay, fine, you are free to practice, profess, propagate any religion. To practice, profess, and propagate a religion, we would need some other rights also. Okay, those other rights are given in Article 26. It says that, take for example, you are Hindu, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Take for example, you want to, which puja do you celebrate?
Ma'am, we have so many festivals.
Anything, any? I am getting one,
Important.
and I'm getting one call. Okay, just a minute. So yeah, what religious festival or something, any important one which is significant for you?
Ma'am, in next month, like first we are getting Ugadi, means like it is a New Year
Yeah,
like that for us, ma'am.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Uh, Ganesh Chaturthi, ma'am.
Ganesh Chaturthi. Okay, let's take that example. Okay, take for example,
Yeah.
Ugadi is something which we celebrate at our home itself, right? So let's not take
Yes.
that example, but yeah, Ganesh Chaturthi. Now, when you see Ganesh Chaturthi, everywhere you would see it's organized and all that stuff, right? So simply we are saying that, okay, fine, you are free to practice, profess, propagate religious practices and all. It's not enough. Why? Because we might need to establish and maintain some institutions. You would see in different places Ganesh Chaturthi would be organized. Sometimes you might see some temples and stuff also where it is organized. What is it? It's nothing but establish and maintain institutions also where such festivals might be organized, gatherings might be allowed, right? So this is the first thing which needs to be provided, that establish and maintain certain institutions. It might be temples, it might be certain like community halls, whatever is needed basically. Okay, manage its own
Yes.
affairs. Take for example, you want to celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi, but then you don't have the freedom for every single thing. You are like dependent on someone else. That should not happen, right? If you want to celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi, what happens is there would be groups of people who will be celebrating it. Yes, there will be some formalities and stuff that you need to follow, but after following that, you are completely free, right? They would collect donations and all. They would buy the statue and everything, food, everything they would organize and they would do it, right? This is nothing but managing their own affairs. They again have a right. Next is to own and acquire movable and immovable property. Both movable and immovable property you might need, right? You might need a piece of land where you would construct a temple, where you would construct a community hall. You might need some movable properties also to organize Ganesh Chaturthi. Obviously, when you are buying the idol, the like the table where it would be placed, you would buy some utensils and everything for the prasadam. So many things are owned, right? All these are also necessary. So own and acquire both movable as well as immovable properties. You would see people donating some properties, movable things also to temples and stuff. These are again nothing but fundamental right that is given. Plus administer such properties. You will see there would be some like trustees and all, some core committee members will be there who would manage the entire affair, right? So these are again nothing but some freedoms which are given, because only when these rights and freedoms are provided to us, we are in a position to enjoy our fundamental rights. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So just simply giving the fundamental right is not enough. Other things also need to be taken into consideration so that we are able to enjoy our rights. Next one is freedom as to payment of taxes. Now, when you are paying taxes, there will be different types of taxes, right? Like income tax and all, when you are paying, you don't know for what purpose that amount will be used, right? They would not tell you that, okay, your specific amount, we are using it for this purpose. Amount would be collected, and after that, it might be used for different purposes, right? So it should not happen that a person is compelled to pay some taxes, that you need to compulsorily pay this certain tax, which will be used for promotion and maintenance of this specific religion only. That would not happen, because you are free to select which religion you want to practice, right? So if you are a Hindu, you have selected that you want to follow that particular religion. government would compulsorily not impose a tax and say you need to pay this tax and we will use it to maintain this other religion. That would not happen, because again you are being given a freedom to decide which religion you want to practice, profess and propagate. Okay, that is nothing but Article 27.
Yes, ma'am.
Article 28 talks about freedom as to attendance at religious institutions or religious worship in educational institutions. In government schools and all, right, which are taking fund from the government, they should not provide any kind of religious teachings to the students. Okay, but it might happen that there are some institutions wherein some kind of religious practices are being given. There the minor, the student would decide whether he wants to take part in that or not, or his parents would decide whether they want him to take part in that particular practice or not, because you are basically free to take a decision on yourself. So it should not be imposed on you that you need to follow these religious practices of a certain religion, or might be you need to pay these compulsory taxes or something like that. Okay, so this, when we talk about religious freedom, it's like a freedom in entirety guaranteed to us under Articles 25 to 28 of the Constitution. Okay, so these
Yes,
are
ma'am.
our religious freedoms, which is given in your Unit 4. Okay, and in Unit 5, we have the remaining fundamental rights. We have writ, concept of writ, constitutional remedies. We have directive principles of state policy, and also we have fundamental duties. Okay, so
Ma'am, unit 1, 2, 3 is done.
Unit
Unit
1, 2,
1, 2, 3
3.
is done.
Yeah, Unit 1, 2, 3 topic wise we have done it. Once you are, because you are now done with your assignments and everything, I will be sharing you question and answers in a question answer format, and you can start reading it. Like whatever articles are there, articles we have discussed. It's like basically
Okay.
preamble, features of constitution, types of constitution, constitutionalism, those parts are there.
Okay, ma'am. But these are the main, ma'am.
You cannot say these are the mains, because it's Unit 4. Again, from Unit 3, like features of constitution is very important. Constitutionalism is important. Fundamental rights 21 and all are important. So there are many. Constitution is like very important subject anyways, right? And part 3 is like very important. So
Yeah, ma'am.